being conducted in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement in the Cape May Star and Wave on the Township website and posted on the bulletin boards of Township Hall.
All right, if we could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, if we could roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad?
Here.
Councilmember Perry?
Here.
Councilmember Roy?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Here.
Mayor Simonson?
Here. All right, our first order of business this evening is, in our work session, is a proclamation supporting the 2018 You Drive, You Text, You Pay. That's a distracted driving crackdown from April 1st through the 21st of 2018. And it reads, whereas distracted driving is a serious life-threatening practice that is preventable, and whereas distracted driving can result in injuries and deaths to all road users, motorists, pedestrians, and bicyclists, and whereas distracted driving occurs when drivers divert their attention away from the task of driving to focus on another activity instead, and whereas in 2015 alone, distracted driving related crashes resulted in 3,477 deaths and 391,000 injuries on our nation's roads. And whereas in New Jersey, distracted driving was listed as a contributing circumstance in nearly 750,000 crashes between 2011 to 2015. And whereas the state of New Jersey will participate in a nationwide distracted driving 2018 crackdown from April 1st through the 21st of 2018 in an effort to raise awareness and decrease driver distraction through a combination of enforcement and education. And whereas the national slogan for the campaign is You Drive, You Text, You Pay. And whereas a reduction in distracted driving in New Jersey will save lives on all roadways and on our roadways. Now therefore be it resolved that the Township of Lower declares our support for the distracted driving 2018 crackdown, both locally and nationally, from April 1st through the 21st of 2018, and pledges to increase awareness of the dangers of distracted driving. Thank you. And with that, we roll down to our consent agenda. Do I have any questions or comments from council on our consent agenda?
There's one thing I have, very minor. I think it's not going to be a big deal to get changed. But in the lease that we're looking to do with the county, it says we can't have any dangerous objects or explosives in the building. The police department may have an issue with that part. Just mentioning that we might be able to want to remove that or have it changed, lawful or something.
What does our solicitor have to say about
I think
that?
we could probably add except
Police
in normal, normal police activities.
Yes, that's.
I don't think the county would object to that.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone? No?
No comment.
All right, we open it up to the public. Any questions or comments in regards to our consent agenda only? Please just state your name and address when you get up to the microphone for the record, please. Anyone? Seeing none?
Approval of the minutes from the March 19th, 2018 meeting. Approval of closed session minutes from the March 19th, 2018 meeting. And resolutions number 2018-126 through 2018-143.
All right, I have a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2018-06, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2013-01, Police Department of the Code of the Township of Lower, 1975 as amended, amending Article 1, subsection 90-1. This is the second reading and public hearing for this ordinance. This ordinance has been published, posted, and made available to the public.
All right, any questions or comments amongst the council?
None.
None. All right, we open it to the public on ordinance 2018-06. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Tom Poussart, 1B Shaman Avenue. I read over the ordinance. I see you're changing it from 36 police to 40. And I noticed after it says patrolmen, I just wondered if you wanted to change that to patrol officers or something like that.
Good point.
Okay? Since I have been riding around, I saw some female police officers out
And
there.
it does say 1975,
Yeah,
so
that's why I
we'll have to get with
thought
the
that,
times.
but maybe we ought to change that.
Can we have that changed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We can-
Good point.
We
Huh?
can, they're,
Right, that's, Mr. Rizzo made it. Whoop. All right, any other questions on ordinance 2018-06? Seeing none? Do we have a manager's report?
Oh, we need a,
Want to vote?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess we have to pass it
I'll make
first.
a motion to approve.
Thank you. I'll second it.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson?
Yes. Jim, you good?
Yep.
All right, we move down to,
Mayor, I have a report.
oh, okay, you do. I figured you're not one for,
For starters, I don't know if all the council received the letter from the freeholders about next Monday's meeting, so we will be hosting at our Millman Center a developmental phase meeting, which will be run by freeholder Will Morey, discussing the 2-mile bridge improvements from Diamond Beach to the mainland, and that project is currently being called the Ocean Drive Causeway. So that meeting will take place from 3 till 5 o'clock. And a reminder also that we have a council meeting next Monday behind that. So, secondly, we're certainly seeing the most capital improvement in Lower Township in probably, I don't know how many years, because of the activity that's taken place on Route 9 from Kmart to Breakwater Road. We've got activity now from the Westgate May Bridge, which is going to stem all the way down to Broadway in Westgate May. Breakwater Road in front of the airport, that road, obviously big improvements. Fulling Mill Road project is scheduled to start, it may be starting tomorrow. It's that close in that Bay Shore, Fulling Mill, I'm calling it the Wawa, right there in the Villas, and I know they were barricading today, and I thought there could have been some activity this afternoon, but next Monday night's council meeting, we'll get a presentation. You all have the maps now, and you're going to get a presentation on the individual streets that are most in repair in the township. In the meantime, the head of Public Works and myself have already compiled a list that we'll also be bringing of 6 to 10 roads in each ward that we feel need the most attention, and we can discuss that after you hear the presentation from Mott McDonald. And lastly, our fire safety department is no longer behind us. They are up and running at the new public safety building. And we'll be beginning to set up back in the rec where they were, our new program that we plan on implementing with the computers, with the tutelage of a high school computer teacher as well as the video coordinator over there. So things are moving along in those lines, and I think we'll be very close with our rescue. And the courtroom now is, I'd say, 3/4 rehabbed. That's all I have tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Conrad?
I have a few things. It's a good news, bad news type of night. Good news, as the manager said, the county is reconstructing Bay Shore Road from Wild to Weber Avenue. It was supposed to start today. Now I just heard the sign now says possibly Wednesday. This will include the intersection of Bay Shore Road and Fulling Mill Road. Reconstruction is removing all the asphalt and approximately 14 inches of the road base and starting all over. So where they repaved it before and the sinkholes and the potholes reappeared real quick, this should solve the problem. The bad news is it's going to take approximately 6 weeks, with portions of Bay Shore closed for a minimum of 2 weeks at a time. There will be detours, and the county has put out press releases for this project. All businesses in that area will remain open, though. You're just, to get to Wawa, you're going to have to come up through Alabama, and to get to the CVS, you're going to have to use the Weber Avenue entrance, because the Bay Shore Road entrance, so both those will be closed. Fulling Mill is closed to get on and off. You have to turn before that. Speaking of Fulling Mill, good news, the county is going to pay Fulling Mill Road from roughly Jennings Ave to Bay Shore. Bad news, the county has to wait for the MUA to get finished Phase 2 of the Villas Water Project to do so, because the MUA has to run a few lines and loop some. And once that's done, it should be real smooth sailing from there, because that's some of the worst roads, I think, in the township. Good news, the much needed road construction of Georgia, Alabama Main Street is going to be spec'd out to go to bid. The engineer and the DPW were out checking it out, getting some ideas. Bad news, that's going to have to wait till after the Bay Shore Road project, because that's one of the main detours. So, right after they get the Bay Shore entrance to Wawa fixed, the Alabama entrance will be fixed then. The Town Hall Serious Knockout Opioid Abuse is coming to Cape May County. I kind of overheard the media talking about it, seeing the Times. We're finally getting something down here from the state and insurance. Time may not be perfect, but they're trying to hit Cape May County. They hit a bunch of other counties last year. It's being hosted by a Partnership for a Drug-Free New Jersey, Horizon Foundation, and Cape Assist. It's going to be held in Dennis Township Senior Center on Thursday, April 19th. The actual event is taking place at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and it'll be open for registration at 8 a.m. The importance of this is the public is invited. You can register online. There's handouts in the back. And hopefully we'll get some information or get some idea what the state's going to do to try to help us with this. We have the Healthy Youth Coalition going on. We have a few other things. We put more police on. We've got more code enforcement. But we all need a hand, and I know I'm going just to see what else we could do and what I could learn. The road list that the manager brought up, I'm also reviewing it for Ward 1. We got a partial list last week at the last meeting. Now we got a map of it. And I'm going through, and some of them I agree with, some maybe not. But if any resident in Ward 1 wants to know where their street is on that list, please contact me at tconrad@townshiplower.org, or better put the 609, because that's going to have to be there soon. 609-780-0802. I'll leave a message. I will get back to you. And the last thing for me is a pre-warning. This year's Escape the Cape Triathlon will be on the weekend of June 9th and 10th. On the 10th, there will be major detours and roads shut down. This is a great event. Come out. Steve Del Monte, at the last meeting we had, pre-meeting for it, was telling us how the athletes love coming down here. He said the people, the residents, they're great. They're out there supporting them. They're hosing them down, sometimes getting them water. They said not all the places do this for the athletes, and our people have taken it and made it their event. So just letting you know, June 10th. And that is it for me.
Okay, I'll be brief. Beach Drive pedestrian safety project's moving right along. The majority of the west side, concrete work is done. There was only a few sections left, and I know they were pouring today. They will be done pouring the west side by the end of the week. And we do have a few Verizon poles that need to be removed prior to the end of the week. And hopefully Verizon comes through. They've had plenty of time to have notification to get in there to do the work. So hopefully they get those poles pulled out of the way so they can pour the remaining portions of concrete on the west side. Also, they're starting on the east side with the concrete and the sidewalk area. And the northern part of Beach Drive, or Shore Drive, has already been milled. They're changing the elevation a little bit of that road to make it DOT conformance. So you see that's milled up. Please try to stay away from the construction area while they're doing that. Hopefully, they'll be paving shortly, northern end and working their way south. So the project's going forward on schedule from what I understand, and will be totally completed prior to the Memorial Day weekend. I believe 2 weeks prior to their deadline is. So that's coming right along. Still waiting for the bids come in for Roseanne Avenue. That project is still going full steam ahead. And as the mayor will get into a little bit later, we passed a resolution tonight for the summer concert series that's coming back, which is a big thing for our Lower Township residents. It's going to be held down at the ferry as usual. And also the resolution was passed tonight for awarding the contract for the fireworks for July 3rd. So that'll be about it for Ward 2 this time.
I forgot one last thing. The manager brought up about the bridge, middle thoroughfare. That is by invitation only next Monday, but they state that there will be another meeting on May 3rd that's public is totally invited to, but they haven't determined where or what time. But on May 3rd, they will be having another meeting. If that the public can come and get their questions answered.
If any of you guys want to go, I'll invite you, so let me know after the meeting, all right? I'll make sure you're invited. Can I send out my own invitations?
Yeah.
All right.
It's in our building.
Perfect. Next, Councilman Roy.
Last meeting, I gave the information on the beach cleanup. However, I had erred in the date. The date has been clarified. It's going to be May 12th from 9 to 12. Participants will meet at the Canal Park at 9 a.m. sharp. Cleanup will take place on the beach and the road going into Canal Park by the ferry. It'll be sponsored in part by the Lower Township Historical Commission. We have provided vests, gloves, and trash bags, so we hope to get a good turnout, get this beach looking just as good as the roadway for the Memorial Day weekend. Also, I do have a list of streets in the 3rd Ward that will be considered for repaving and upgrading. I ask any residents in the 3rd Ward that have any concerns to see me after the meeting or contact me, and I'll be happy to discuss those streets, try to get an overview of what needs to be done. However, the streets that are named are pretty bad shape, and I'm sure they will all require some immediate attention in the near future. And that's it. Thank you.
Mayor, I'm going to defer my minutes to you.
Well, I was going to, on top of Councilman Roy's comments in Ward 3, if anyone has driven over the Seashore Road Canal Bridge, there is now a sidewalk from one side to the other, which is a nice addition. The county has been working diligently, and that's one more plus to our township. So used to just be a grass walkway. So that's it. You're good?
Yep.
All right. First, I'd like to inform our residents about a very bad acronym with a very great cause, and that is LIHEAP. And what that is cash grants available for customer energy bills. And this is a great thing that Atlantic City Electric does or can help you with. The energy assistance is still available in southern New Jersey. They have money, so please, if you need help, we can help you get that money to help pay bills in southern New Jersey to help Atlantic City Electric customers pay for winter energy bills through the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, LIHEAP. Atlantic City Electric customers can submit LIHEAP applications now to secure their grants. Their New Jersey eligibility requirements are as follows, and that is a one-person household. If it's the income for a one-person household is $24,120 or less, a two-person household $32,484 or less, a three-person household $40,848 or less, or a four-person household $49,200 or less. In addition to LIHEAP, there are many other programs and tips available to help Atlantic City Electric customers save money and manage their energy costs. Customers also can receive financial assistance through Helping Hands, which is a program funded by Atlantic City Electric, providing $3 million in help to struggling customers and help them to meet their energy needs during the next 3 years. Their website is AtlanticCityElectric.com. It's all one word, .com. If you have problems or can't find the website, please call Town Hall. Our clerk and everyone else will be happy to help you, but it's a great way to get some help with your electric bills. And if they're willing to help, then let's get the money for it and help you out. Next is we have a rabies clinic on Saturday, April 14th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Public Works Facility on Seashore Road. All dogs must be properly restrained and cleaned up after, of course. One of our favorites, Little League opening day, is this Saturday, April 14th at 9 a.m. on the Mitnick Field. That's behind the Mitnick School, right by the Canal Bridge. Hopefully the weather will be warmer than it was today. But that's always a good time. And if you can't get there at 9 a.m., there's games going on all day till 9 at night or later. So, and you have everything from little kids up to older. We have softball going on, t-ball, and baseball. It's a great community event, so get out and check out some of our youngsters playing baseball. Knockout opioid abuse. I know Councilman Conrad has talked about this. This is the Town Hall series. Knockout opioid abuse. It takes place at the Dennis Township Senior Center on Thursday, April 19th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And you can get there. Doors open at 8 a.m. and they provide breakfast while you register. So registration and breakfast are at 8 a.m. and the conference or the information session takes place from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Again, that's in Dennis Township. That's 571 Petersburg Road in Dennis Township, or in Dennisville in Dennis Township. We have all kinds of guest speakers from the prosecutor's office. We have substance abuse navigators, director of prevention services from Cape Assist, and others. So obviously we're all very concerned with the problem that we have, not just in this community, but throughout really the nation, and that's something that you can check out. As was stated by Councilman Conrad and our manager, the Ocean Drive improvements, the bridge improvements, that meeting is Monday. If anyone would like to go, let me know. I'll make sure that you are on the list. And last but not least, we have our summer concert series at the Ferry. And I know Mr. Ridgway has been waiting all night for this. I'm sure I'll get a rock on when I'm finished. July 11th, we have Amish Outlaws. July 18th, we have the Soul Cruisers. July 25th, we have the Nerds, what's the deal with, that's the first concert they've played. You want to give us the lowdown on that?
Well, the Nerds may be the #1 cover band in America. There are very few bands that could say they played at the White House. They sold out Carnegie Hall. They've received the keys to the city up in Bayonne. They've traveled the whole East Coast. They've been doing this for 20-some years, and 20 years ago, they were the biggest act in the Wildwoods, but they just haven't been able to get down here because they've had a contract on Wednesdays for the last almost 20 years on Long Beach Island, and they're giving us a date. There's a lot of people that have seen them over the years but had to drive a distance, but
Yeah, get there early because I know it'll be, well.
But I think the best show on the agenda is the Eagles Tribute Band. Was a real find by the Recreation Department to get this band that is coming in with a national exposure.
And did I mention that they're all free? Did I mention that?
No, you
All
have
right.
to do that.
They are all free. So you got Desert Highway on August 1st, Danny V's on August 8th, August 15th is Separate Ways, August 22nd is Kevin Miller's Smashed, and August 29th, which I believe was at the concert to support those children in need, to get them involved in sports, and I know
It is.
our deputy mayor is big in that, including myself and the rest of us, is Stellar Mojo, local band that has really done well for themselves and created a big buzz all over the state, really the tri-state area. So we look forward to all those concerts. And again, they are free, so come on out. And they'll be here before you know it, I'm sure. With that, I don't believe I have anything else. I've said enough. So I'm going to open it up to the public for any comments or questions. Please just state your name and address for the record. Anyone? Yes, sir. I thought you were going to bring me leftovers or something. I'm starving up here.
I had leftovers, actually. Good evening, Mr. Rizzo, Mickles Run. I'm addressing everyone right now. First of all, I'd like to thank you all. Doing a heck of a job. Even though I'm a registered Democrat, I still think you're doing a great job. We're running 3 Democrats against you in the fall. Just wanted you to know you have your uppance right now. I did want to ask about the old Fishing Creek School, which is beginning to look very old. I went by it today. The front doors are falling apart, needs painting. Have someone from Public Works paint the front doors. I don't know if it's being used or not, but every time I go by there, I look at it and say, it shouldn't be that way. We spent a lot of money refurbishing it. Let's keep it looking in good shape. And I hope it's being used.
Mayor, there's actually an event there, Earth Day,
Right.
Saturday, the 21st, maybe?
It was also being implemented into the Lower Township School District with their early intervention program.
Yeah, I understood that you guys were doing that.
Right.
At the Lower Township School, but it looks terrible. When you go to walk in, should be repainted. Somebody from Public Works could do it in about 2 hours, I
Gotcha.
Except
guess.
they have to follow certain standards.
Okay, welcome to the new young lady there. I don't know who she is, but welcome.
It's Josie's mom.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Whose mother is it?
Josie's.
Who are you, young lady? Introduce yourself.
Liz Greenway, I work in the clerk's office.
Okay, thank you very much.
Josie's mom.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Rizzo.
If I
We'll
think
get-
of something else, I'll be back up.
Gotcha. Anyone else? Yes, sir. It's all right. Take your time.
Hi, my name is Debbie. I live on Bates Avenue in the Villas. This is my first time here. I have a few notes here, though. One, I know I spoke to somebody else before, I won't mention any names, about trash cans at the beach. I walk the beach every day, and I don't know how we can do it, but I've been here about, I guess, a year and a half. My family's lived here for 40 years. I live in the Villas, which the Villas, growing up, had a bad rap, and that's something else maybe down the road, how we can get that stigma off. I love it here, happy. Sunsets, it's cloudy tonight, that's why I'm here, sunsets every night. But trash cans is one thing. I mean, I don't know how donations, community, whatever. I mean, there's,
No. I was going to let you know. That's something Councilman Perry and I have been talking about, possibly benches, especially where we have the our beach access points, to put trash cans and recycling there. Not big ones, and they're going to have to be mounted on poles for just during the summer months, so it's not abused. We're looking into what we can and can't do on that, because yes, people come off the beach, and otherwise you just throw their trash around. If we could have some trash cans there, this is one of the things we're looking at, the next step with the beach access points.
okay, great. And I do have benches as well. I see
That's-
there's the memorials all over again.
That's
I mean,
exactly,
So that was
Yes.
another thing. Leaf pickups. When I moved down here, tried to clean up my yard, and it was months. So I was like, what's the point? Because the leaves are all over the place. I mean, I had a small car. Then I found out, oh, you can take it to the dump. But as a new person living here, like, I didn't even know this was going on. the water advertises, I mean, you said it's advertised in the wave. I don't even know what the wave is. So, I mean, like,
It's the Cape May Storm Wave is the
right, but I'm
official
like,
newspaper.
to me, there should be better advertisement. Like, go by the water thing. I actually went to their meeting and I was, started speaking and they said, you're, right church, wrong pew, so I was at the wrong place. But you go up and down Bay Shore, you see it all the time. So I know there's other neighbors that were interested and nobody really knew how to, when the meetings were or, so that's one thing. I do have notes, so sorry. That's
okay.
They are listed on our website, just so you know.
Right, but again, we
townshipoflower.org.
don't always think of that, I mean, and actually I came here and someone gave me a list, but it was for last year, and that was just about 2 weeks ago. So it was 2017, the agenda she gave me, but
Is that for me, I'm sorry, is that for meetings or leaf pickup?
I asked for the meetings.
They're always the first and third Monday of every month unless there's a holiday.
Right, yes, I know that.
That
now,
just makes it
right?
easier, but, gotcha.
Bear with me here.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I did say the advertisement, that might be it for now, but I probably will have more. The leaf pickup, I did, and a couple things, I mean, just out of curiosity, because I do walk the beach, it's just my ignorance, the pipes that go into the bay, can I ask what they're for? Like,
Stormwater.
so it's just stormwater?
Stormwater going up.
Going back?
Yes.
The outfall, yeah.
I thought so, but I was just trying to educate myself on that. And I mean, community service, you're talking about cleanup, but that's down in what, North Cape May, or?
We do the villas every so often, but there's sections of the beach and the villas you have to be careful of, especially this time of year, because they're going to rope them off sometime next
into the
week
birds.
for the nesting season. We have done beach cleanups in the villas. Sometimes goes fast, but some beaches we have to be kind of careful with because, believe it or not, some of them are private.
I mean, honestly, I think the beaches are fairly clean, but I do see trash. I mean, again,
There's-
walking
yes.
every day, but I'll see like a big Wawa cup, and I'm like, all right, well, somebody, sometimes I do pick the stuff, but I'm usually collecting seashells, to be honest, so.
Those
it's like-
beaches usually are very clean.
They
very nice.
are, but,
I did a beach cleanup from Village all the way down to, I think we got to Rose, and that's where they roped it off. We didn't even have a quarter bag of trash.
okay. All right, well, I appreciate your time, thank you.
Thank you. Anytime.
I'll be back.
Yep.
I'll talk to you right after we get done this session also.
Mayor, members of council, my name is Bill Tyrrell. I reside at 105 Beach Drive, North Cape May. I'm here generally to commend the efforts going on along Beach Drive and Shore Drive. I was here once before commenting on the installation of the walkways down to the beachfront, and that was done in the past and done very well. Thus far, the installation of the new sidewalk on the west side of Shore and Beach has been done really well. The care taken with replanting the grass, done very, very carefully. I too hurl a brickbat at Verizon. They seem to take their sweet time. Everybody else got out there and hustled, and wires got moved. It's kind of a shame. I don't know what their situation is, but we do have poles basically in front of where we are. We live at the corner of Washington and Beach, and from us down to Harpoons, there's still extra poles along the way. They basically start in front of 105 and 103 Beach Drive tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to the same excellence in laying in new curb guttering, and actually, hopefully, when they're done, the resodding of the area that's going to remain grass there. Talked to some of the folks on the job today, and my wife has been talking to them along the weeks here as they've been doing it. And thus far, I think when you get the right-of-way set from mid-road to wherever it's going to be on the east side, it'll look really well. And I think that's the effort that's undertaken here, and I think it's a commendable one. That said, I'll sit down after saying that my heart kind of pines a little bit. You mentioned the opening of Little League. 20-plus years I was an umpire, and big day. So I hope things go well for everybody concerned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate the input.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did have one other thing. My wife would hit me when I sat down. Across from 105, 103, there is one large tree on the beach side.
various companies have come along, utility companies, cutting off branches from that tree where they would overhang the wires otherwise, or overhang the recently installed sidewalk. Those branches remain there. Hopefully, I'm not sure if it's in the contract or if town forces will be by, but hopefully those branches will be picked up, or otherwise they'll be, Mr. Ridgway's nodding, otherwise they'll be all over the road when the winds come back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anyone else? Do I have my glasses on? I don't see anybody else. All right, we close the public portion.
Resolution number 2018-144. A resolution providing for a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 40:4-12. This is to discuss an attorney-client privilege matter and a possible shared service.
I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second the motion.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simon?
Yes.